David Haight worked as a leading officer in the U.S. Army for 3 decades. In his tenure as an Army officer, he worked in several high-profile operations. No wonder the man was privy to many secrets that concerned national security. The 3-star ranked officer had achieved respect, pride, and lots of experiences during his stint. However, despite his dedication to his work, the man was eventually stripped of his 3 ranks. He got a demotion and was left alone. What had happened so bad?
Before we begin, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
No service is bigger than serving your country. Major General David Haight was one of those few lucky and courageous people who got enlisted himself in the Army. The man had dedicated his entire life to his nation. However, despite all his devotion and hard work, he did not get the respect he deserved. Wondering why? Major General David Haight had earned himself an important spot in the Army. He gave it all to serve his country. The man aspired to be a soldier since his childhood. Unlike many growing kids, he did not divert from his aim. He remained focused and determined. Haight had a sense of patriotism in him since childhood. He loved watching patriotic movies and would keep himself updated with current happenings. His devotion to his nation was visible to everyone. Furthermore, the man had a towering personality that would pull people towards him. Very few people stay sure about their aim, and many of us keep vacillating about different options throughout our life. As it is believed those who know what they want to do in their life are halfway there. David knew what he exactly wanted to do. After completing his studies, the man enlisted himself in the military. The man passed all the tests with flying colors. Thereafter, the induction process went smoothly too. Not for once did he doubt his career choice during the hectic and nerve-wracking training. After enrolling himself in the Army, Haight got married to his long-term girlfriend. The man had to leave his home after the marriage for the impending training. It was not easy for him and his wife, but still, they did not step back, as this is what Haight wanted to do. Even during the training period, Haight managed to steal some time for his family. He would visit them at least twice a year. Though it was not enough, that was more than they could ask for. His family of 2 expanded to 6 over the years, and he achieved many milestones in his career as well. His stint in the military involved lots of placements all across the world. Whereas he enjoyed his work, there was only one drawback. He used to miss his family a lot, as sometimes the separation would span more than a year. The incident that changed his life occurred during the time when he was stationed in Iraq in 2005. We all are acquainted with the hardships the life of an army involves. The man's job was not remotely glamour or easy. To put it bluntly, his job was quite complicated. His work included handling and processing the residues of American soldiers who would get badly wounded. Admirably, the man never frowned. In fact, he did the job with all his dedication. Yet, he got reprimanded by the entire nation in the end. Working in the Middle Eastern heat is not easy. What added to their hardship was the daily painful sight of young fallen soldiers. Major General Haight never took a step back. He made full use of his experience. The man enjoyed quite a popularity in his team. His fellow army man, wife, and 4 kids very much appreciated his optimistic attitude and amazing smile. The man never let the toll of his work get the best of him. He still was a jolly fellow who would inspire people with his thoughts and work. His career that spanned for 30 years was nothing less than an inspiration for the young generation of the Army. And throughout these years, the man had managed to keep a secret from the world. But it was difficult to sense from his feeble and infectious smile. Everyone liked him, and one of those who admired his carefree nature was a woman named Jennifer Armstrong. The woman was serving the United States government. At the time of their meeting, the woman was part of an assignment in Iraq. The duo hit it off instantly. Everyone could see the chemistry between them. Their acquaintances were just a meeting old when they even started flirting with each other. Soon, their conversation translated into late-night emails that they would send to each other. Haight and Armstrong had begun to enjoy each other's company. But will the consequence be in their favor? Armstrong was in the Middle East for a long time, as there were not many women around with her. When Armstrong saw Haight, the woman felt an immediate attraction towards him. Having said that, she told him in emails that she admired his hard part. The parts that had gone rough near the edges because of wars. As mentioned earlier, the man was married when he met Armstrong. Despite his marital status, Haight began an affair with Armstrong. The couple remained together during his time in Iraq and even after they came back to the US. However, they would see each other in private in states. They had become deeply involved with each other. And now they even had started going to swinger parties. In these parties, one can swap their partners. The pair would meet many other couples and sometimes swap partners. No need to say that the man was enjoying his life to the fullest. Almost every day, they would attend parties, and eventually, Armstrong herself started throwing parties in her home. Haight would attend those parties religiously. All this while, his wife had no idea about any of it. The woman began to host swinger parties in which many couples would come. There were no restrictions, nor did Haight have to be disciplined. It was quite the opposite of what he had been taught in the military. As he was doing this all for the first time, he was enjoying it big time. With time, Haight and Armstrong grew even closer. They had developed a very intimate connection with each other. The man went on to write her a heartfelt, encouraging note when he learned that she was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was a long letter that had words of motivation and love. He egged her on not to give up and keep fighting the disease. The letter was enough to confirm the seriousness of their relationship. However, their affair met a tragic end, depriving Haight of everything he held dear. Haight must not have imagined in his life that what was in offering for him. The pair perhaps had forgotten that they were leading an illicit relationship. The words about their relationship broke out and his seniors got to know about it. Well, the news did not go well with them and they decided to take some serious action. An anonymous complaint about Haight's illicit relationship was sent to Gen. Philip Breedlove, the then U.S. General for NATO, that triggered the investigation in January. Furthermore, the complaint was followed by allegations of misconduct, and one of them even had a questionable photograph. On receiving so many complaints, the Inspector General ordered an investigation on January 4th. There is no law regarding infidelity, but in the military, it is perceived as a crime with serious consequences. The man had committed a crime in their view. They don't do it without a reason. Even though if they want, they can't ignore the matter, as it can give an opportunity to the enemies to get an upper hand on the man. The extramarital affair can make senior officers like Haight vulnerable to blackmail by enemies that can compromise national security. Haight had worked on many important projects and had access to much high-level security information. The military in no way was going to ignore that. Haight's attorney jumped in his defense and said, "He has sacrificed a lot for his country. He's not a threat to his country and would never do anything to harm it." She asserted that the man never became a target to spies or revealed national secrets. Army spokesperson, Col. Pat Cyber explained, Major General Haight was reprimanded for failing to exhibit exemplary conduct by engaging in an inappropriate sexual relationship with a woman who was not his wife and for misusing government resources. There have been cases of infidelity in the Army prior to this one. In 2015, Ash Carter, United States Defense Secretary, found his senior military advisory, Army Lieutenant General Ron Lewis, involved in an affair. After learning the hard truth, the Defense Secretary had no other option but to fire him. So, when the news of Haight's affair came to the surface, they had no choice but to sack him. Haight finally broke his silence and issued a statement. The man was embarrassed and unhappy. He also urged people to leave his family out of it. He told them not to encroach their privacy. They had been affected the most by the breaking of the news. Haight said, "I am truly sorry for the pain I have caused my wife and family. On their behalf, I ask that their privacy be respected during this difficult time." His request was genuine, but we wonder how his family must have reacted to it. So, the man who had done his graduation from the Army ROTC program at Brigham Young University and then led platoons throughout Afghanistan, Panama, and Iraq was now standing ashamed and hated. He was embarrassed. Well, this was not even half of what he experienced next. "I'm very sorry, and take full responsibility for my actions," Haight said in a statement to USA Today. "I will cooperate fully with Army leadership as the process moves forward." The man did not try to hide his illicit relationship and took full responsibility. The regulation states, one specific act of misconduct may or may not form the basis for a determination that the overall service in that grade was unsatisfactory, regardless of the period of time served in grade. Haight was not the only one who had done it while holding a very important position. Sadly, all three ranks were taken away from him. Army Secretary Eric Fanning calls it the worst thing that can happen to any dedicated and celebrated Army official. The man suffered the loss of $43,000 a year in pension money, and not to mention his pride. The Major General even had to undergo a demotion. Unfortunately, he was demoted to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. His demotion was of 3 grades. This does not happen normally to a senior officer. These decisions are made after a board meeting. Haight had given 30 years of his life to the military. He had been a part of many successful and important operations. The man had a significant position and respect, but now everything was gone. Much more stunning information made to the surface after the incident was reported. The military remained tight-lipped on the issue, but it has been reported that Haight had misused resources of government that included a department cell phone along with a computer to place personal calls and emails. He was doing it all for a long time. What more was discovered that a senior officer had verbally counseled him twice in 2015 before the full-fledged investigation was brought in place. The counseling embroiled help for possible marital qualms along with any other personal problems. The media outlets hovered around him after the news of his illicit affair broke out. Haight, instead of avoiding the media, decided to speak to them. In the interviews, he asserted on his love for his wife, Bonnie, but now it was too late to say anything. So now you have read the entire story. What do you think? Whatever happened with Haight was fair or not? The man has done a lot for the country. Can we not forgive his one mistake, or was it too much to take in from a military man? All along we should not lose sight of the fact that trust is a major element in any relationship, and if it gets broken, things begin to fall apart.